dry processing, I usually pretty much everything else.
Donc tous les autres.
So you have brassicas, you have carrots, you have parsnips, you have onions, would be considered dry,
les
leeks.
brassicas, les carottes, les oignons.
So a brassica, as you can see by this dry pod.
Donc un brassica.
All brassicas make this kind of pod. I'll just
Cette
show
forme,
them.
c'est les brassicas, les choux.
And again, you should leave the seed on there as long as possible.
Donc laissez la graine aussi longtemps que possible.
And you will know that it's ready when the pod itself is brown.
Donc on sait.
And you can hear this kind of like
On sait que c'est bon.
cracking noise. And you see
marron.
you see black seeds inside.
On voit des graines noires à l'intérieur.
So what I normally do is I get one of those big, you know, on the building sites you get these big white bags. Sand comes in
Sur
it.
les chantiers, les gros sacs.
So they're square and big, and I just put all of them in there.
Et je mets toutes les graines dedans.
Because it's such a huge bulk of stuff that comes in.
Parce qu'il y a tellement de matière végétale
But for the, you
pour
know,
ramasser des graines.
and then all you've got to do is just walk on it, really.
Donc on marche dessus.
And it doesn't have the seeds because the seeds are hard and small.
Donc ça va pas détruire les graines sont dures.
So you only do this with brassica.
Petites.
That's the only one you do it with.
Donc on fait ça que avec les choux.
You can also do it like this.
Attention, c'est pas les choux, c'est les brassicas.
Brassicas.
You can see now they all have. You can see they all are broken.
C'est pas des choux.
You can see here now that they're all broken, and you're left with the husks and the seeds and the stalks. But the ones that haven't, you can always just go like this as well. Just rub them in between your hands.
Donc vous voyez, c'est les méthodes pour extraire les
You know, just a few that didn't make it.
No.
So this is what it should look like. Okay, now we need to make sure that all the seeds stay on this blanket.
Donc il faut faire attention à ce que les graines restent sur le tissu.
So trying to get them into the middle. Good process. And this is where all the sieves now come in handy in a minute.
Donc c'est là qu'on va se servir des tamis. Sur le tamis.
See? You want them all in there?
Toutes les graines.
Now if you don't have sieves, that's okay too. There's other ways of doing it and I'm going to show you in a minute. But we have a sieve, so we just go like this.
Nous avons un tamis.
Most of the seeds are there. Pretty much all the seeds are gone down. Now step number 2.
Deuxième étape.
Pretty simple.
On va refaire.
So you can see, we're left pretty much with a lot of the... Where's the bowl again? So ideally we need another one that is 2 mil.
Donc il faudrait un autre tamis en fait 2 mm.
3 mil, 1 mil and 2 mil in between, and then we can really clean these seeds really well.
Ce qui reste c'est plus fin. On voit qu'il y a beaucoup de graines.
Okay, the last step we probably have to get the fan and we just get out there again. But what we're going to do is we're going to just pour it here on the ground, and then the good stuff should drop around here and the bad stuff should be over there.
Donc les graines qu'on va garder vont rester à la verticale et toute la poussière va aller plus loin.
See? You can see it over there, no?
Et aussi les petites graines qu'on va pas garder.
It's grand. So they're the good seeds.
Donc voilà les graines.
They're the bad seeds, and over here is all the chaff.
Les bonnes graines, les graines qu'on veut pas garder et la poussière.
Et voilà. Wow. Jeez, I must be using fans next time myself. It's actually quite quick.
Voilà.
So with all the herbs, the actual vegetables, the main idea is to actually separate the seeds from the chaff. And it doesn't matter how you do it. There's some ways that are faster, but if you are just at home and you want to save some seeds.
Donc oui. Donc on avait dit que peut-être quand on travaille avec le panier, on pourrait mettre des gants parce qu'il y a des dangers. Donc il y a plusieurs façons de séparer les graines, comme on a vu avec le carton, avec le tamis.
So in that case, it's much easier sometimes if you don't want to spend a lot of money, especially, it's just easier to. It maybe takes a bit longer.
Donc on n'est pas obligé d'acheter du matériel, ça prendrait peut-être un peu plus de temps avec le carton.
But it's just maybe a way of trying to shake off the ones that will come off for now anyway.
Donc d'abord on va secouer un peu, on voit si les graines qui tombent.
Because the tendency will be that these ones will be definitely ripe.
Donc celles qui vont tomber, c'est celles qui sont prêtes, celles qui sont
So, and these ones are ripe as well, but they're just more attached to the seed. They're
Okay.
a bit younger.
Les autres sont un peu plus jeunes, donc elles vont pas tomber.
Okay, you can see now how I'm doing this. I'm kind of gently enough doing it, but enough disturbing it enough that the seeds will actually fall off.
Donc je le fais tranquillement, mais assez pour que les graines tombent.
So what I do then is I just make a little pile like that and get all the twigs and everything up to this corner, and it helps if there's not too much of a ledge.
Je fais un petit tas dans le coin.
And then I can just go like that,
Du coup, je peux enlever cette branche.
because as I said, most of the sticks will come onto the top.
Parce que la plupart des bouts de bois, des branches vont venir sur le haut.
And then what I would do is I would go outside.
Et ensuite, je vais aller dehors.
Well, first I would put these seeds then into a suitable container,
Et je vais mettre d'abord ces graines dans un
like this.
récipient.
You can see. You can take out the big bits.
J'enlève les branches, les feuilles.
And then all I have to do is put out my cloth out in the wind, and when I throw it down, the wind will actually blow away all the chaff.
Ce
And
que j'ai à faire, c'est mettre
So
mon
that's-
drap et
that's
mes
an
grains
easier way of doing
et
it.
verser dans le vent et toutes les poussières vont partir. Ça, c'est la plus facile.
Okay, now we're going to do a quick germination test.
Et alors, on va faire un rapide test de germination.
And because we are running out of time, I'm just going to ask you guys to imagine this germination
Donc,
test.
je vais vous demander d'imaginer.
So it's going to be a bit of fun. This is going to be our seed tray.
Alors ça, ce sera notre récipient.
Yeah, and then we're going to imagine some
Ça peut être plus petit. Hein.
wet paper, maybe toilet paper.
Mais je vais mettre du papier toilette
And then we're going to take our seeds, whichever it is.
mouillé.
So we pick up we count out 100 seeds exactly.
Et on prend 100 graines exactement. Sur du papier mouillé.
Then we spread them out.
On les répartit. On les...
Exactly 100 seeds.
Exactement 100. Mais après,
Yeah. And then we just spread them out on the paper.
on les dispose sur le papier.
Put more wet paper on top.
On remet du papier mouillé dessus.
Put it in a warm place.
On met ça dans un endroit chaud.
In about a week it'll germinate.
Peut-être une semaine pour que ça
And then
germe.
you count the amount of seeds that haven't germinated.
Et on compte pas celles qui n'ont pas germé.
So if you have 100 seeds
Sauf si vous avez 100 graines.
and 5 didn't germinate,
Et
how
5
many
qui
percent?
n'ont pas germé, combien de pourcents
How many percent do you have?
que avez-vous?
What's the germination? 95%,
95%.
which is very high. Now
C'est
when,
beaucoup.
when it gets to 75%,
Quand ça va à 75%
and some even go down to 65%,
ou 65%,
then the actual the strength and the quality of the seed is degraded,
la force et la qualité des graines a diminué.
and that's why you want to then you don't want to go below a certain percentage,
Donc on ne peut pas aller en dessous de ce pourcentage.
because if you go below the percentage,
Si on va en dessous de ce
you
pourcentage,
can't use the seeds for the next generation to make more.
tu ne peux pas utiliser ces graines
So
pour
that's
en
the
faire
idea.
l'année prochaine.
So that's how you do the germination test. That's
On les mange.